See, here I have a fun problem on a 2013 Audi RS5 engine. It had a broken valve spring, so I had the head cylinder heads pulled off, had the heads rebuilt. Everything looks fresh, everything looks brand new. We've got multiple boxes of parts, upgraded flywheel, flex plate, all the goodies. The problem I have comes with the head gaskets. Audi has a back order, unknown ETA, on the driver's side cylinder head for the head gasket. So I can only order a brand new passenger head gasket. So what you see in front of you is two brand new gaskets. One from Felpro, one from Audi. I don't have a problem with Felpro gaskets. It's probably the same manufacturer of the Audi one, if I'm honest. They look exactly the same. I don't know. The problem I have is not being able to get this driver's side head gasket. What I can get is a head gasket for a 4.2 Audi A8. Right? Probably the similar architecture. Can't think there's too much different. So what I did is I got the passenger side OEM gasket, which is this one, and I have a Felpro one for the non-RS engine for the V8 A8. So this is the non-RS, this is the RS. The reason I can tell is the cooling jackets are opposite. So the way the cylinder head operates is it must push the high pressure coolant to the rear of the head, and it has the crossover tube for the coolant on the front. This is the coolant crossover tube that goes to your auxiliary heat exchangers on the sides. Okay. So if you look at the non-RS engine, it has your big cooling jackets in the front, and they get smaller towards the rear or the transmission side of the engine. The RS head gasket is the opposite. Big jackets in the rear, and then they get smaller towards the front because your coolant outlet is in the front. Right, so you don't need as much flow going this way. So it creates quite the problem. Do I open up the non-RS gaskets on the small side, or do I just put it in and assume that it'll be fine? I hate not having parts available, but when you're left with such a problem or a question, it doesn't leave you a ton of solutions. I've thought about separating the multi-layer steel gasket and taking the center section or center piece out of the factory gasket to install it into the aftermarket one, so that way the coolant separators are the correct size, and then I can just open these up to match the OE size on the back side, because these are really close to the same size. It's a little bit different, but not too much. But we have a big jacket in the front and a small jacket in the rear. This one we're looking at here is the non-RS gasket. Again, this would be the RS one. Big jackets in the rear, small jacket in the rear. Should be an interesting problem to come up with a solution for. The reality is, on the street, it probably doesn't matter. But if somebody was going to take this on the racetrack and pound on it for days or several hours or make some real high-speed pulls, it might be a problem. I don't know. So I got to do a little more research and see what I can come up with. But I do have this beautiful set of refreshed cylinder heads with APR valve springs in them and a lot of other goodies for this car. So it should be pretty cool to get together.